What's going on, everyone? My name is Afsheen Hayat, coming to you live from Boe Boxing in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. So, I'm here to review a couple of the fights from UFC 163, live in Brazil. Right now I'm going to review Anthony Perosh versus Vinny Magalhães. So, going down the list, both of these gentlemen are in dire need of a win. Both have losing records in the UFC, and both are grapplers, coming off of losses in their most recent bouts. So, let's start with Anthony Perosh. Anthony Perosh is on the wrong side of 40. He's turning 41 this year, if he hasn't already, coming off of a 7-second loss last year in his last fight against Ryan Jimmo. One punch KO, he was out. He hasn't fought in a year, and he's also coming off a grisly toe injury, similar to what John Jones had in his last bout against Chael Sonnen. This doesn't spell very good things for him, especially as we know history has shown that 40-year-old grapplers don't tend to hang around at the highest levels of MMA because of the damage grappling does on your body. Strikers tend to hang around a little bit longer, but again, if they've taken damage, they also don't hang around that long. So traditionally, though, striking is more forgiving on the body, all else equal. Perosh, over 40. He's a little shop-worn. He's good jiu-jitsu skills for MMA, but again, he's not a very strong wrestler. He doesn't resort to pulling guard. He's not that tricky of a fighter. He went through the fire to get down Cyril Diabate, who's traditionally been a very easy guy to take down in that weight class. 6'5", 205, tall and lanky, with poor takedown defense. He struggled, eventually got him down. He had taken a lot of abuse, but he got the finish when all was said and done. Let's talk about Vinny Magalhães. So Vinny, really don't need to pump up his jiu-jitsu skills. He's one of the best in the world. He's a multi-time Abu Dhabi champion, open weight, and he also is fantastic in MMA jiu-jitsu. So most of his wins are from grappling, and even the moves he pulls off in MMA are of the highest technique when he utilizes his jiu-jitsu. In his last bout, however, against Phil Davis, who's somewhat of it can be argued that he's somewhat of a rudimentary striker, Vinny just could not get anything going. He looked stuck, he looked lost, he couldn't close the distance, he couldn't slip punches. He was basically charging in, he was firing off 1-2s, and he was getting tagged, and he pretty much lost 3 rounds to 0 against a guy, like I said, whose strengths are grappling and submissions. He did manage to bloody Mr. Wonderful's nose, but in the end, he really didn't do any damage. So, do I think he can win this fight? Absolutely. He needs to get it to the ground. He may look at this bout as an opportunity to test his stand-up, though. You don't really get too many fights to test new skills in the UFC, but in my opinion, the UFC's throwing Vinny a bone here. They're saying, all right, man, you're striking. We all know it's not good. If you want to have a chance to improve it, you may want to try it against Perosh. He might just go with what works for him. He might just take it to the ground and just finish Perosh. In my opinion, this bout, I like Perosh, but overall, in this bout, I mean, you got to give it to Magalhães pretty much any way he wants. I think he's going to try out a couple stand-up skills, but if Perosh gets too aggressive, he's going to get tackled, and he's going to get submitted whenever Vinny wants. I agree with my partner, Joe. Second round submission. You heard it here.